little bit of a late start today. Had an urgent care issue to take care of. Everyone's all right though. Today I'm doing what I've been trying to do for a while. We're heading to Brooklyn. Well, I made it to Brooklyn finally. What you guys are missing on the condensed version of my travels is it just took an hour and 15 minutes. Crazy subway rides too. So I know this won't mean much to many of you, but up where we live, it's only supposed to be the Q on the Q line, but recently they've been running the N on the Q line also. So today's trip was supposed to be straightforward. The Q to a certain station, transfer to the R to the end of the line. Easy. But when I got on the first train, I didn't realize it wasn't the Q, it was the N that I was on. So when I realized that, I got off the N because I wasn't sure where that one was actually going to end up. And then while I was waiting for a Q to come, the R showed up at that station. I figured, well, that's where I'm going eventually anyway. I'll just get on that now. But the R is a local train, so it was stopping all the time. So then I got off the R a few stops later, and a Q pulled up, and I rode the Q a few more stops, and it was quick, it was nice because it's an express. And then I got off to transfer to the R, and the same R that I just gotten off of pulled up, and I got back on it. And then I went a few more stops, and lo and behold, the N that I'd gotten off originally pulled up. Like Dorothy's slippers, the way to get there had been with me the whole time. Anyway, now I'm here, I'm in Brooklyn, and I'll show you where we're heading in just a minute. A couple parks on the list today. The first one's Owl's Head Park. It's right along where the Hudson meets the ocean, so I'm gonna walk out there, see some water views, some city views hopefully. On first glance, it's a nice park. Got a playground over there. Let's keep walking. Let's go get to the river. Look what I found right away. Bathrooms. Those were on the dirtier end of typical park bathrooms, but no needles. Climbing a little hill here, but I see some good stuff coming up through the trees over on this side. Well, it didn't open up into quite the sweeping vista I was hoping that it would, but behind the trees, you can see the Manhattan skyline. Right there. Can you see it? It's like the park goes off in that direction for a ways. There's a nice little walkway that goes all the way around the perimeter of the park. And then we got the nice little seating area over where I was just looking at this area. It's very nice. I wouldn't mind sitting here for a while and just relaxing. I'm not going to though. I have other places to go, but I wouldn't mind. I want to go over here, and there's a winding path that goes all the way around there and back this way, but I'm just going to cut across the grass. I got places to go. I'm on my way to Shore Road Park, which is further down toward the inlet, but I'm just passing this thing that is called Veterans Memorial Pier, so I'm gonna walk over here first and check this out. This is more like it. This is where the views are. And the alternative mode of transportation I could have used to get over here is the ferry, which docks right here. If the times on that had been more convenient, that would have been a lot easier to get over here with. Ferry dock's right there. Manhattan's right behind that. But over on this side, we've got the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, which is where the Hudson, which is all along here, empties out into the Atlantic Ocean. Busy port city, so of course there are lots of tankers. Over there is Staten Island. The Staten Island ferry is working its way across over there out of frame, but it's nice. It's kind of windy today. but it was crazy windy yesterday. It's one of the reasons I didn't do this trip yesterday. I was going to. I was supposed to go film last Friday, but then I was sick. So I ended up staying in bed all day resting. And what was bad about that was it had been raining all week up until then. And so I've been planning on going and filming Friday because it was supposed to be nice. And then it was nice. It was beautiful. And I had to lie in bed and look at it out the window. It's too bad. And then yesterday, I was gonna go out again, but then there was that high wind advisory. And winds were gusting like 50 miles an hour at times. People were leaning into it as I was walking the kids to school. It was crazy. So being out here on the shore would not have been very fun in that much wind. But I made it out today, and here we are. It was a good thing, because spring break is coming up, and I'm trying to get a bunch of recordings done so that I have stuff to edit and release even when I'm not here, because we'll be traveling. Heading back to Houston, which is exciting because I get to play with my band again. I was just there a couple weeks ago, got to play. It was fun, and now I get to go back. All right, so the first objective was Owl's Head Park. We did that. There's another park that's right under the Verrazano Bridge over there, and that's the next stop. We're gonna walk along this road here, along the river, and go stand under the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, which is the biggest bridge in New York by far. Let's do it. If I'm being honest, this is not a terribly interesting walk. This is supposed to take me another 30 minutes. I mean, the city's back there. I'm looking at the bridge up here, and that's nice. Got the Hudson over here, some waves, some rocks. I mean, it's nice enough, I suppose. But it's really just a straight path, completely open. So not the most interesting. Like I said, that's Staten Island. I don't know if you can see the orange ferries over there, but those are the Staten Island ferries. Getting ready to head back to Manhattan. And then of course on this side is all Brooklyn. I'm getting there. I think it's deceivingly far because the bridge is so big that it already looks big, but it's a lot bigger than that. It's getting a little more interesting though as we turned around that corner and the bridge started to come into view. And there's a ship coming under the bridge right now. There's a nice looking old school across the street. Just looking at this ship coming in, and I'm just imagining how cool it would be to have been sailing for many, many days and then pull in under the Verrazano Narrows Bridge and into New York Harbor, see the skyline, Statue of Liberty. Old school travel. There goes the ferry. There's another stop that's just outside of the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. It goes over near Coney Island somewhere. Slow progress. So we can talk about some stuff before we get there. So the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, that is Staten Island over there, and this is Brooklyn over here. And they've been looking for a way to get from Brooklyn to Staten Island and vice versa for a long time. They were talking about stuff all the way back in the 1920s. Originally, they threw the idea of a tunnel around for a few decades, but then that ended up getting scrapped. Robert Moses proposed this bridge in the 1960s, and it was completed in 1964. In 1969, they added a lower deck onto it to get more cars across. But there it is. When it was finished, it was the longest suspension bridge in the world. It was surpassed by a bridge in the United Kingdom, but it is still the longest bridge in the Americas. It's big. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger in front of me, which makes sense because I'm walking toward it, but bigger and bigger and bigger. There's a fort right over there under the Staten Island side of the bridge, and that's because it's a perfect place to have a fort to defend the harbor from enemies that might be coming into it. And that's why there's been one there since Dutch times. The one that's there now is called Fort Wadsworth, and the Army just moved out of it in 1994. It was the longest continually manned garrison in the United States. And there it is. This thing is huge. As usual, the camera doesn't do it justice. I've driven over it before, but like I've said in the last couple of bridge videos, when you're moving at a car speed, you can't really take it in the same way. This one doesn't have a whole lot of detail on it. It's pretty streamlined, kind of 60s modern, but it's just big and impressive. Venture out underneath it for a sec. Now that I'm right up next to it, I can't fit all of it in frame anymore. It's enormous. What's crazy is I'm right here, I'm almost next to it, and it still feels like it's so far away, because it is, it's so high. Huge. All right, we made it. There it is, Verrazano Narrows Bridge. So big I can see it from my apartment. All right, now I got to figure out how to get to the subway from here. I think it's over this way. All right, we're gonna cross this bridge, this little bridge. Big bridge is behind us, not crossing that one. Walk straight up, I think, 4th Avenue, find a subway. Another fun adventure. Kind of uneventful, but pretty views. That's what I was expecting, just pretty views. In the middle of everything else today, and another thing that won't really make a difference to you probably, but I got a new camera, and so the picture quality might actually be better, but I'm also having to figure out how to use it. It's not that much different, but you know, it's just different enough that I got to think about stuff. Let me know if it looks better though. I know I'm hungry, but that pizza place looked really good. That was a long walk. Back up to the east side. Another exciting little adventure. I got off the subway and immediately got a call from the nurse's office at school. So lunch will have to wait. If you like what I'm doing here on this channel, tell your friends and be sure to subscribe. That helps me more than you know. I'm trying to build this little thing, whatever this is, and subscriptions is how it grows. I'll see you next time.